Baby, we did it. Chris, my name is Liam. I'm one of the hostel brothers here. I have you here with me. We set out a challenge, 30 days, 30 RKLB dailies, and we've completed it, mate. I want to congratulate you. I want you to give yourself a big pat on the back. Yeah, some people thought it couldn't be done, but we've done it. How are you feeling, my guy?
Very accomplished. Like you said, we did set a pretty hefty goal. I kind of thought it was funny at first, and then we've got some great friends in the community that really supported us. Thankfully, thanks to them, we've had some great guests on. That does help. It's not as easy as you watch guys on YouTube and you're like, oh, I could do that. Especially when you're by yourself. A couple of days there, Liam was out, and again, support from the friends that we have helped us continue this and keep it going. But 30's a pretty good number. I mean, it's just a start for us. The numbers have been unreal. I've been just blown away. I really have. It's time to come up with a new challenge. I'm not asking anyone out there to give us a new challenge. we actually we'll do it ourselves. But it's been a lot of fun getting to know you, Liam, Reese, Dylan, all the Hustle brothers. And again, just the opportunity of having so many different amazing and brilliant people on here that I wanted to meet or talk to personally. And it's been a wonderful experience, great opportunity, and I'm looking forward to the next 30 plus.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think we just need to take the bull by the horns, come up with a new challenge, something that excites us, and keep going. These dailies are not going to stop. I do have a big announcement to make, though. The next 2 days we will be taking off. We just need to reboot. You've noticed the last few days. Look, I think we both have had up and down days over the last while. And I do think it is workload. It is trying to balance work-life balance and creating content as well. So we will be taking 2 days off. Chris, I want you to sit back, have a beer, chill out. And yeah, we'll go again straight away from, what day is today? Today is Thursday. Yeah, we'll go from Sunday again. I'll have my VTOL
Wednesday here.
And we'll do it from Sunday. I want to try and get a Space Investor on Sunday. That could be a good one. We'll see what the schedule's like.
That's another thing. We do need a few days because we haven't had time to even sit down and talk about the next schedule of guests coming on, get them scheduled. We have a few of the guests that we're already talking to that we're just trying to get their schedule in line with ours or ours in line with them. So, and on top of that, I've got messages I haven't even opened up yet for the last 2 days. I've been working, leaving the house at like 5 in the morning, getting home at 5:30, walking right in the backyard, throwing my headset on and going directly live, at least an hour, sometimes longer, then a shower, eat dinner, go right to bed and get up and do the same thing next morning. And I'm having fun. I'm not complaining, but it's hard to get in the hours and the time I need for research because I do enjoy doing the research. I say it all the time, finding something small and start peeling back the layers of the onion and finding out what might be under there and just having fun with speculation and coming up with some crazy ideas because I just enjoy that aspect of it. And I think there's so much news that's coming out in the last few days. There's a lot of things that are being missed possibly. And give ourselves, like you said, just 2 days just to recover. And recoup and get our brains back up to normal. It can be a bit of a grind. 30 days is quite a bit. Dave G said himself, he's like, doing it daily is not going to be easy, guys. And he has not been wrong. Again, a lot of fun. Looking forward to continue this after a short, brief little rest. But yeah, we're gonna have fun tonight as we always do. We're gonna keep it short, as you guys already probably know. If you should know, Jacob Keaton and the guys over on the Spaces Weekly on X, they'll be having Ashley Vance will be on. We've been waiting for that for quite some time. Dave G will be on as a speaker, I believe. It's going to be a lot of fun in the chats, as we always have. So, yeah, we'll keep this a little short tonight. But again, just thanks, everyone. I think we've already hit over 500,000 views or something crazy like that. I don't get to see all the numbers, but it's just amazing to me. I really appreciate the support.
Yeah, no, crossing that line of 500,000 views was pretty wild. But guys, thank you so much, and I want to give a big shout out. Brett Krieger came straight in and said I support the Brothers. Do you know what? Matt christened us the Brothers, and it has stuck. So shout out.
No, we're gonna get T-shirts. We gotta get T-shirts made. I'm a brother. You're a brother. She's a brother. Don't you want to be a brother too? You know, we're gonna have a lot of fun with it, and we're gonna be pushing. That is one thing we will be doing as far as our next goal is we're gonna be pushing to hit that 1 million view mark. And I know the people in the chats and the support we have. I know you guys are gonna help us do it. You've been so supportive this far. We're gonna bring all you guys along with us. I've said it before. I mean, we've had some amazing guests on. Looking forward to having a lot of this, everybody coming back on again for round 2, plus a lot of new faces, and a few special things we're working on in the future. Brett has been a little difficult to get on. The guy is, I don't know, he works like 1,000 jobs. He's just really busy. He barely even has time for spaces on the week or on the weekly on Wednesday. But I do hope I can kind of get him to sneak in here for 15 or 20 minutes. Promise will be nice. Promise will be nice. I'm not crossing my fingers or nothing. I promise. We'll just have a few laughs. But the guy's got great insight. Very intelligent person. If you're not following Brett Krieger, hop on X. He's definitely worth a follow. Tons of a lot of information, especially if you're big into Palantir. The guy knows it backwards and forwards. If I have any questions about Palantir, he's gonna be my go-to. So as always, Brett, thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
Yeah, nah. As far as the channel going forward, we do have some big goals. I set a goal with Christopher last night. It's a bit of a secret goal. It is going to be a Rocket Lab world record. We will announce that when we return. I just need to cross the T's, dot the I's. And yeah, we will break that record. But do you know what? You're not here to listen to us ramble on. Again, Jacob has that Spaces. It'll be running in about 2 hours' time. Ashley Vance will be on, so you're going to want to check that out. Now, to make sure you can sit down, get a cup of tea, get a beer, whatever you want, we're going to be running a little bit short today. So, Chris, ready for a speed run through the news?
Let's do it. Let's do it, brother.
Let's start with your favorite part of the day. We'll go straight to the numbers.
Yay, numbers.
Right. So, Rocket Lab today, we did climb a little bit up, 3.93%. We are flat after hours. Over the 5 days, look, we're still up 10%. And then over the last month, we're up 34. 6 months, it's 42.95. And then over the 1 year, we're up that incredible 673%. Guys, do let me know in the chat. Has anyone taken profits at these heights? If you are expecting a Neutron delay, would that be a reason for some of you to take profits? It's just a question I haven't myself, but I just want to throw that out there. Then I actually want to shout this out to Brett. So Elon did put out a tweet. It was more or less a reply about 20 minutes ago. And he said it's time to retire the space station and focus on Mars. Does this give another string to Rocket Lab's bow? The fact that we're not going hell for leather on the likes of Mars. Yes, we were talking about the likes of the sample return. That looks like it's sort of hitting a standstill at the moment. But look, we're focused on so much more than just space exploration on Mars. Chris, any quick thoughts on that before I get into the Rocket Lab news?
I'm not so certain myself that the MSR mission is completely X'd out. I I got a long theory on that. We don't have time for that today. Just really throwing that out there. When it comes to Neutron, Matt actually put out a very straight to the point, very great post about Neutron as far as a possible delay. We spoke about this before. It's you know, what, maybe if they do go to 26, it's 5 years from development, research to a full functioning rocket. They're still going to break all the records, and it's still going to be super impressive. I'm not going to sell if they have an issue. I'm not selling. I mean, I had to sell about about a year ago for personal reasons, but I'm slowly building up and adding to my portfolio. It's almost 100% Rocket Lab. I have no problem telling you guys that. Not financial advice, but in my opinion, if there's a delay on Neutron, honestly, I don't really see much of a delay on Neutron. I just don't. But if there is, it's a buying opportunity for me. I am going to be putting some money to the side just in case something like that happens. But yeah, that's all I really have for that, man. I didn't really get too much into what as far as what Elon said about the space station. That thing is old. It does have a lot of issues. I like science when it comes to space. I would hate to see it, just be never another space station up there again. And I mean, just focusing everything on Mars, I don't agree with that. There's so many other things out there that's going to be beneficial to humans other than just getting to Mars, and in the near term too. And Elon's promised that he's going to get to Mars this year, next year, the year after that. His timelines are always off. Nothing against the guy. He's doing things I could never do. I can't build rockets. I mean, I can hardly get out of the bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how he does it, but yeah, there's a lot more to space than just Mars. And there's a lot more that we can be doing as a country to help mankind in space. And yeah, I don't agree 100%. I mean, you can be a fan of Elon all you want, but if you agree with everything person says and you don't have a mind of your own, I just don't agree with the guy. I think the International Space Station is there's a need for it. There's a purpose for it, and I hope they either refurbish it or build a new one. I don't know of any plans of that, but I'm a space nerd. I just kind of like it, seeing it up there. Personally, no no amazing insight on that. It's just my big dumb ignorant opinion on that. But that's about all I have for you on that one, buddy. Sorry.
No, you're all good. And then we have Jacob, the celebrity here himself. Let's go. 30 days. Congrats, guys. Do you know what? Congrats to you, brother. Can't wait to hear the interview. Now,
yeah, and thanks for coming on too, Jacob. As a matter of fact, guys, I was wanting to. We were actually going to plan on having Jacob on tomorrow, and we are going to be rescheduling that very soon. As Liam said at the beginning, we are taking the next 2 days off. We do need to catch up on a lot of news. We're getting behind on, space is big. It happens really fast. And the last thing you want to do is come on live like I did yesterday. I didn't see any news. I didn't see any numbers, and I just came right on. And you guys were throwing questions at me, and I was like, I haven't seen that. Show me the article. Trying to come up with an opinion right away. It doesn't do any service to anyone in the community, in the chats, especially new investors, if I don't really know the information, at least for that day. And it has been a very busy week at work. Thank God. It's a blessing, but yeah, we're going to take a day or two off, and then we will be getting Jacob on very, very soon. Can't wait for the interview tonight, my friend. Thanks again for all the support. We don't do this without you guys. This is impossible without you guys. This is a group effort. In my opinion, you're all hustle brothers and sisters. Thanks as always, Jacob, man. Love you, bro. Have fun tonight. Whatever you do, bro, just have fun as you always do.
Benny, hey, guys. Hopefully no talk about the group chat in here. Group chat stays secret, my guy.
Yeah, no. I would not do that. I did have that just image in my head. What do we like to just go ahead, instead of reading off the day's news, I just read off the daily chats. And it was funny to me, but no. Our chats is, to me, it's a vault. It's unless it's directed at space or Rocket Lab News or something that we need to talk about as far as investors. No, it's like Vegas in there, man. It stays there. But it's funny. It's funny. I love you guys, man. You guys are great inside that chat, man. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Then we have Scott Williams. Neutron delay equals big dip, and he considers that entry points and still building position and not selling soon. Me and Reese did talk about this, about the possible pullback around Neutron. Then we were sort of saying, look, what if, yes, we had that Neutron delay, but what if they've built in enough a contract announcement in with that news? The market won't know how to react. And if you think the likes of your big investment firms, they're going to jump in on an announcement of a big contract. So I wouldn't worry too much about Neutron at the moment. We'll see what happens. Jacob, you'll deserve a break. Thank you, my guy. Jacob's a massive supporter of what we do. He feels like he's part of the team, not gonna lie. Benny. So what we'll do, we'll get straight to RKLB, Chris, and you're actually gonna have quite an opinion on this one. So Dylan has put up, not Dylan, Dylan Harrop. Dylan H. Rap. Rocket Lab's Haste will be launching from Wallops no earlier than July 11th, according to LNTMs. This will carry a classified payload in a suborbital trajectory, and Markbox did pull up this announcement by the Coast Guard. I know you have an opinion on it because it's by the US Coast Guard. We can see down here, it is launching in that window. Chris, what are your thoughts? Do you think it's Haste? Do you think it's Electron?
And, we're overdue for a Haste. I thought we were going to get a Haste mission last month, and I think it was maybe pushed off or delayed because of the ramp up at Wallops. That's a fair guess, really. So typically when they launch out of Wallops, they have to clear airspace around Wallops, and they have to clear or protect the waters around Wallops. And typically when it's a Haste launch, it's the U.S. Navy that does it because it is a government or classified mission. U.S. Coast Guard really isn't involved. Usually, at least in the past, when it's the Coast Guard, it's an Electron mission because it's not a government mission, and it's not classified, so they're not having to go that extra mile with the extra protection. That's just a fact. Now, does that mean that the Coast Guard would not be involved in a Haste launch? No, it does not. But typically, if it's a classified launch, you're not going to get any information on it until after the launch. You're not even going to see any kind of filings about anything until after the launch. Classified means it's classified. They're not going to tell you, look, if it's classified, they're not going to say, oh, yeah, this is classified, but by the way, we're going to have a whole bunch of ships out here, and we're going to, file for that permission to do that and announce that. Well, that's not very classified, is it? If it's a Haste launch, I'm not going to be upset. As you guys know, Haste is like my baby. I love it. We're overdue for a Haste launch. I think we've got 2 of the Lidos or Lidos. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Don't murder me in the chats on that. But there's still the 3rd Hawkeye 360 mission. That one will be coming out of Wallops. That one is supposed to be going, was scheduled, I do believe, for the last month or this month. Again, delays at Wallops, not delays at Wallops. Sorry, did not say delays at Wallops. The ramp up at Wallops has probably pushed them that those launches back. And we may see a few more launches actually, getting ramped up at Wallops because they're not technically behind schedule, but they're kind of getting close when it comes to the launches they have scheduled out there. There are a few that's as far out as December, as far as the launch window, as far as the FCC approval. One of those being the DART mission, which is the one I cannot wait for. I just cannot wait for. If that's, yeah, I see, Jacob, you're right. And I see I got to double check. I don't want to say for sure, but I know that that is going to be a sweet mission. I do believe you're right. It is. I do believe it's a government mission. It's something similar to what they did with Firefly about a year or two ago, and they basically tested their turnaround ability. So, without getting too technical, basically, U.S. government says, I need you to be ready on standby. We're going to give you a phone call. It could be next week. It could be in 6 months, but we're going to test your rapid ability to actually get to the launch pad and launch a mission. Firefly did it in 22 hours. I gotta believe that Haste is gonna blow that record out of the water, and that's one of those things I'm gonna be really looking to is when it's announced or when they get the call, and then how fast it turns around. That's gonna be really. It's easy to overlook small things like that. It really is, but the rapid response is a big thing for Haste in their program, and if they can continue to improve on that and they really deliver, well, odds are they're going to be getting more of this kind of government military contracts. I would love it for, man. I'm just speculating on the Coast Guard thing just because of past experience. I would love for it to be Dart. It could be Haste, but either way, we're speculating on is it going to be this rocket or that rocket. They're freaking launching out of Wallops very soon, so we should all be just excited about that, right?
And if it is an Electron mission, we will be covering it. Haste, probably not. Do you know what? I would like to see the ramp up of Haste. We've heard Peter say the ability to get out one per week, and we've heard Kratos say they have the demand for one per day. At the moment, we're just not seeing it come to fruition. I would really like to see Haste get on the ramp up. But jumping across, Markbox actually shared quite a nice roadmap for launch 1. So we can see the progress here, guys. Launch pad is what? Well, I wouldn't be too worried about the actual pad itself. It's more the full stack rocket I'm sort of looking at. Stage 2's more or less complete, but stage 1 is sitting about a quarter complete. Without stage 1 and 2, again, we're not going to get the full stack. Overall progress, we're about halfway there. Chris, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it actually just made me. I had a thought yesterday I just forgot about, but so what you just said a second ago about the demand for launches for a rocket like a Haste, the demand's there. The demand is extremely high, and right now, Rocket Lab they're doubling down. They're so focused on Neutron. They're only going to take on but so many additional new missions right now, and they're not going to be trying to ramp up but so many things because they have so much going on, and they do it with such a small amount of personnel compared to like a SpaceX or a Blue Origin that has tons of money and they can hire thousands and thousands of people just to turn a screwdriver. They don't have that affordability at Rocket Lab. They're constantly trying to hire, and so all hands are on deck for Neutron. That also being said, I think that there's a lot of concentration on getting that thing perfected and getting it to where it's ready to go so that they can get it on the pad, make it become successful, and then you will most likely see a ramp up in the Haste program. Will it be one a week or one every like every day like Kratos is saying? I don't see that anytime soon. That's just ridiculous, I think. But I do think we're going to see a lot more than a handful of launches a year. I think we're going to see a steady ramp up over the next 3 to 5 years, and then after that, no telling what they're going to do with the program. That's something else we can speculate. But I do believe that once Neutron is up and going, that we'll see a ramp up in the Haste. And again, I'm not too worried about Neutron. I'm just not. This is Peter Beck we're talking about. This guy, he's not built to build shit, right, guys? He's not built to build shit. I got all the confidence in the world on him. And I still think we're going to see a launch, or at least an attempted launch this year, before the end of the year. I do. That's just my, opinion. But there's just nothing that makes us feel like, there's a big reason why they shouldn't.
Well, Peter did come out 2 days ago and said they are full steam ahead to try to attempt the launch by the end of 2025. Though I do believe it's going to be a late 25 launch. Look, as we said before, it's a rocket program. It could push back 6 months, even 12 months. Look, I think Matt said it nicely. In 2035, you're not going to worry did it come out in Q3, Q4, or Q1 26. So I don't think we should panic too much. Chat, do let me know though, what part of this progress report worries you? What part is slowing down Neutron, in your opinion? Is it the launch pad? Is it stage 1? I don't believe it's stage 2. Or do you think something still needs to happen in the full stack? Please let me know. Brett, the Haste brothers. Do you know what? That actually rings too.
I like that. I like that, Brett. That's awesome, bro.
That's a good name, the Haste Brothers Club, but with an England accent. That's not a bad one. I get Reese to pronounce it for us.
Yeah, or we get Olga to come on here with her Latina accent, and she can do it for us. Come on, Olga. You know you want to. Come on, Olga. That'd be awesome. We love Olga.
Olga, we've completed 30 days. We've completed our challenge. Now you have to come on. Do you know what? The guys would love you on. Give us a
Hey,
shout.
we couldn't have done it. We could not have done it without Olga. You know, Jules, June, all you guys, man. It's very humbling to have the kind of support. But I do love the Haste brothers. That's awesome. That's funny. In a lot of ways. We'll have fun with that, man. We'll have a lot of fun.
And then Jacob believes it's the freaking permits to get the core 1 and 2. Or the core half, you're saying, isn't it, onto the island?
Oh yeah. You got to have permits. Virginia is a Commonwealth, man. All we know is red tape and permits, and you're dealing with Mars, MARS. I've begged you guys look into Mars in the past. They kind of control everything on Wallops. They pretty much says who the contractors are going to be and who they're not. They handle the permits. They work directly with the U.S. government, and there's always a bunch of red tape and a bunch of BS to deal with. I mean, they got to get permits just to dredge out water, just to get the barges down. But thankfully, the state is investing a lot of money into this, like the new bridge project.
That was my mistake there. Jacob says he means the first stage, core 1 and core 2. Thank you for clarifying that, Jacob. And then, yes, that one, Chris, the barges. So
yeah, they actually have had permits for the barges to start moving since January of this year. So of course I get excited and tell Francisco, I'm like, we're moving Neutron parts. Yeah, I was an idiot. I should know better. I deal with permits all the time. A lot of times you've got to submit a permit and you're waiting 90 days just to get someone to read it and get approval on it. Doesn't mean you're jumping on barges that day. And obviously they file for their permits. Somebody's going to go out and they're going to do tests. And that's probably how they found out, hey, you can't get these heavy barges through this canal unless we dredge it. And it could just be honestly just somebody going, hey, I see a chance to make money off this Rocket Lab company. We're going to make them dredge this canal. It could be just something as simple as that. But as far as the construction at Wallops, you guys know I live in Virginia. This last winter, I can't say this, but the winter before was super mild. It was almost like a brisk fall. There wasn't a lot of cold. And I don't know, if you know much about actual concrete, you have to be at a certain temperature or it will not cure. So last year, they were able to ramp up and get ahead and at the very least not fall behind. And I think that they were able to actually do a bit more as far as overall construction with some of the supporting infrastructure around it outside of just getting through the launch itself. And I think they've taken that opportunity and they've added and built out more than what they would have to have as a minimum. I don't see any of the construction at Wallops being a delay whatsoever. And that's just based on weather and availability. Permit's going to slow you down a little bit. But I'm sure Rocket Lab is they're used to dealing with Wallops, and they're going to get some you know, they're going to have some advantages because, again, this is Wallops we're talking about. It's not Cape Canaveral. This is mostly government controlled, and they want Rocket Lab to be successful. So they're not going to delay them. Like even with the environmental impact regulations they got to get past, they're going to push that right through. I mean, it's not like they've never launched off of Wallops before. That's just that's just them in the permit office going, hey, we're going to get a couple $10,000 to get this permit. You're greasing hands is what it comes to when it comes to a lot of these permits. I don't sweat the permits. Doesn't give me any fear as far as delay. Now, if you're a very political person like Musk has been lately, then yeah, I'd have some concerns. But nah, everyone likes Beck. You know, he stays out of politics, thankfully. So permits shouldn't be a problem. Delays at Wallops are not going to be an issue as far as construction. It's going to be, in my mind, it's going to be how far along they are with the Archimedes engine, which they're also making that also into a vacuum engine, and in a lot of ways the engine, building a brand new engine is just as hard, if not harder, than building a brand new rocket. And again, Beck said from the very beginning, we're going to tackle the harder things at the very beginning so that it's easier to ramp up and move forward at a fast pace once we get past these milestones. I'm expecting I thought we'd have some new news come out. I mean, we've been all on our seats and at edge of our seats, like, we're watching all these other companies. They're announcing all this, amazing new news, and Rocket Lab's just kind of sitting back, just tapping their feet, like, yep. And nothing's been coming out. I think we're going to hear something, and we watched it in the last couple of launches. We're expecting something new because they will drop new news during the launches at times. A little disappointed we're not hearing much, but that's probably all for a reason, and it's probably all being calculated. And there's a good chance that we have this the investor meeting announcement coming up. Good chance we hear some stuff out of that. But as we get closer to September, I think we're going to start seeing a lot of those yellow dots on the Neutron watch list on the webpage. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of these things turning green.
And then Rick Edmonds says, quick question, is the speculation on a Neutron delay, guys, just joined the convo? Look, we are speculating about a Neutron delay, not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I don't believe they're gonna launch in September time. Look, I'll be pleasantly surprised if they do. Even October time, I'd be surprised. I believe we will target around the end of November, early December. I think it'll all sort of shut down around Christmas. I don't think that's around the time they'll be pushing it. If not, I'd expect it mid Q1 26. Chris, if you had to throw a timeline on it, when would you expect it?
You'll put me on the spot like that, right? Okay, so they never said that they were going to do it for end of September. That's just what the FCC filing was originated for. As far as that timeline, they are approved through the end of December. Pete did just say that they're still pushing for this year. October, November. Again, it really just depends on how the next 2 or 3 months go for them. What I can say, though, is that it does look like we are going to make September the timeline for the Neutron party at Wallops Island. I can't say that. I give you dates. I can't give you dates yet. We're waiting for. We got a special guest or two, or three, that are not only agreed to show up, but are very excited about showing up. And once we've been able to coordinate with them and make sure that we have our dates and times aligned, so it's not too inconvenient for those guys, we'll be making actual announcements. But that's going to be coming within probably the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's about all I can say about that. I don't want to go too far into detail, but no, as far as Neutron, yeah, maybe delay. But as far as the launch party, or the maybe not launch, but the actual Neutron party, we're going to try and get this thing done sometime the last week of September if possible.
And then Jacob says, critical design review for the SDA was a pretty big deal. It was. We did cover it yesterday, but One thing I didn't cover yesterday, I think we're going to start realizing revenue from that contract now. Who was it put up on X one of the days that this was in their timeline, and now's the big time that we're going to start realizing revenue across business? Chris, have you any thoughts about the SDA critical design review?
Those are a bunch of numbers, man. I don't do numbers. What do you ask me questions like that for? You should know better. I'm just teasing, man. I'm teasing. I only saw a little bit of stuff yesterday. You guys caught me off guard, because I didn't get to see the news come out yesterday, and I did not, of course, look into it today. But it's very encouraging because there was some speculation that could be canceled and taken away from them. So it's all, obviously a positive, and it's something you want to see with a company like Rocket Lab, and there's a lot more potential for that in the future for them to grow off of that, expand off of that. When it comes down to the actual numbers, I just I don't have the information in front of me. I have not done it. I haven't had time to jump really into it. I really haven't. That's what we have the people in chats for a lot of times, and I kind of feel bad because this is one of the things that I was wanting for, when they first started talking about the possibility. I was really excited about it. I did do quite a bit of research on it. And I know I joke about the numbers a lot, but I actually have on my phone, I've got, we have notes, and you can make notes and everything. Of course, I've got a Haste list. I've got a Neutron list, and I've got SDA, and I've got a ton of info in there. But also, as you guys know, I go directly off my phone, so I would have to jump off of here and jump in the notes and then come back, and that's a big headache. But maybe after the next 2 days we take off, we have more time to really dive into some of the stuff like this. It might seem a little bit boring, if you're a new investor, you don't really know too much about it, you might like it, but it's going to be big for Rocket Lab. It really is going to be big for Rocket Lab. I'm really excited about it. I'm happy for it. I think that we're going to see, again, a lot more coming from this, out of the future.
And then sort of tying in a few numbers for you, and you probably haven't seen this. We came out, was it today? Yeah, Rocket Lab's price target raised to $40 from $29 by KeyBank. And we are starting to see a lot more price target raises across market at the moment. It's nice to see. Again, guys, I would never follow what the analysts say.
I saw one guy go, they were going from $12 to $40. All right, so if you're an analyst and you're getting paid six figures a year, how do you justify, oh, we're at $12, it's gonna go to $40? You're an idiot. You shouldn't have a job. Give me your job. I'll do it for half the salary. It pisses me off that these guys get paid this kind of money they do to come up and they're just guessing. I swear to God, they're just freaking guessing. They don't know nothing about the company. They're probably reading stuff off of Seeking Alpha. They're probably reading some of Matt Money's articles, and they're just cheating the system. And I don't believe nothing they say. If I'm going to trust anybody, it's going to be Francisco Space when he comes out with his next price target, because he's right. He does his research, guys. You know what I'm saying? He looks at stuff. Yeah, he jokes about things from time to time. But if you're following some analyst on CNBC and they're going, oh, well, it's going to go to 47, I better buy. Well, you probably shouldn't be investing. No offense. But 9 times out of 10, these guys are wrong. I've got a deep hatred for these people. I really do. I know hate's a strong word, but man, it makes me so mad, because even my dad will call me and he'll go, hey, I was watching the news, and I'm like, well, there's your first mistake. And it said that Rocket Lab's going to do this, and Rocket Lab's going to go to zero. This is going to happen with Tesla, and this is going to happen with NVIDIA. And I'm like, why do you listen to these fools? Go back and you analyze them, and you tell me how often they've been right. A lot of them, some of the best analysts aren't on they're not even on TV. They're just doing their job, keeping the nose down in the grindstone. And there are some good ones out there. I'm not saying they're all bad, but 90% of the people you see on TV, they're just a bunch of freaking talking pie holes, man. And I don't trust one single one of them. I'm happy to see it. It's good for the stock. It's going to help boost prices, but it doesn't mean a thing to me. It really doesn't. Like I said, if I'm going to get a number, a stock analyst number on a price target, I'm going to go to the people right here in this chat 9 times out of 10. I'm going to go to Francisco. I'm going to go to a Jacob. I'm going to hit up Scott O, of course. 'Cause I trust these people because they have something actual vested into it, not just their money, but their time. These guys put a lot of time in their research, and it's to be respected and commended. So yeah, when I see this price targets coming out from these analysts, man, it frustrates me because I'm like, 6 months ago you were telling me just the opposite. You don't know what the heck you're talking about, and you make a lot more money than I do. How is that possible? Uh, Matter of fact, if we can get one of these fools on here one day, I'd love to talk to them. Please go find one, bring them on here. I dare you. That'd be a blast. I send them home crying to mama.
Guys, jump into the chat and show your appreciation for Chris. I just want to do a bit of reflection over the last 30 days to complete this challenge. We did find Chris on X, did enjoy how raw his content is. He speaks, he fires from the hip. This was a partnership made in heaven. He brings the information, we bring personality. I know Chris brings a heap of bucket loads of personality.
You asked me a question, man. You play with the bull, man. You better grab him by the horns. you better, because I got nothing else to do, man. I got nothing to lose. I guarantee you, I had the lowest share count of Rocket Lab than 90% of people out there. And believe me, I hate it. But at the same time, I'm not going to come on here and sugarcoat anything. I would hate for anybody to sugarcoat it for me. I don't do that with my kids. I'm not going to do it with people that are listening to me here. Hopefully not taking any stock advice. But if you're going to take some advice, man, turn off freaking MSNBC. Them fools don't know half what they're talking about. Amit's a great guy. Follow Amit. He does a great live morning show. It's the people out there trying to sell you stuff. You're watching people on TV. Next thing you know, you're getting ads shoved down your throat. There's clickbait. It really is. There's a lot of clickbait out there. Do your own research. That's where you're going to learn. You get down, you start doing the numbers yourself. You do your own research. Then you can sit back and have a very educated decision on your investing, and then you know exactly who you can trust in and who you can follow and who is worth your time. So like I said again, whether you're a Brett or you're a Johnny Mac, you're doing hours of research. I know these guys. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, they do tons of it, and those are the kind of people I'm going to trust first. So yeah, I'm going to go off, man. But if you guys ask a question, be careful. You might get the answer.
Nah, honestly, guys, this guy fires from the hip, and I absolutely love it. Guys, this is not just Rocket Lab content. You are going to be here following our journey along the way. And look, this is a goal myself and Reese have set. We said it directly to Chris. Chris is our little project. Not little, you're one of us. But, guys, you're going to follow along Chris's journey. You've heard about all his hard times. But we are going to bring on financial freedom, and that is a promise. That way, you can see it unfold live on air. You can see the journey from Chris starting on X with his mates, just ranting and raving. And I know he doesn't mind me saying that. And he's came on here and he's just taken to it like a duck to water. Now, guys, please show your appreciation for Chris in the comments. Let him know he's been having a hard time recently. And yeah, look, as a friend, Chris, I just want to thank you. We even had people on our team believe that myself and yourself couldn't get this project over the line daily. But no, just sit back, mate, and congratulate yourself. You work a lot harder than you give yourself credit for. You bring a lot of insight to the community that I don't think you get recognized enough for. I enjoy working with you. I enjoy your insight. So no, thank you, mate. No, Johnny Mac, let's go. Sorry, came late. Are we discussing Chris's tattoo? Do you know what, Chris? Let Johnny design your tattoo.
There's
Excellent.
no
Love that,
way in
man.
the world I'm letting Johnny Mac design my tattoo. I love that guy. No, actually, this is something you guys might not know, but when I went to school, I was going to double major in art and psychology. I have done a couple of hundred art shows in a former life. I had an art dealer out of New York. That's one of the reasons why I went to Europe. I was actually discovered by an art dealer in New York. I'm sorry, and not New York, but in Nice in southern France, and was offered a job and thought that my whole life was just going to take off and I was going to be living this great life as an artist in southern France. All true story. And well, life changes sometimes, and you're gifted with children, and that changes your outlook. But no, if I do put a tattoo, I have no tattoos. I'm blank. I'm a blank slate. I've worked at a tattoo parlor, helping a friend of mine out that owned one, and my job was to do the freestyle and doing drawings and stuff like that, and he would tattoo them. So if anyone's going to design it, it's going to be me. No offense, Yanni. Um, uh, you are still paying for it if I get it. I keep saying that, but that's going to be the daggone truth, brother. Uh, I got to make it sting a little bit, right? Um, Man, I can't believe you guys will not drop this tattoo thing. So what happens is like it's a Friday night, and everybody's like, let's wait until like an
I've
hour
just seen
until.
Jacob's comment and I'm dying laughing.
Dude, I gotta hear it. What did he say? What did he say?
So Johnny Max just showed up. Let's go, yeah. And then Jacob's jumped straight in and went, "No surprise gifts for me." I enjoy
See,
Jacob. Jacob is
man, this is why we have these guys in here. Investing can be stressful. It can be. You can have bad days, and I've seen guys that are like, "Man, Chris, I'm like 10 figures down just from today," and I'm like, "I like to have 10 figures in my bank account, but I feel bad for you, you know." Um, so it helps having people that you can actually speak to on a friendship level. And if you're having a bad day, I've done it several times, especially with Francisco and Johnny. They've been great friends to me. If I'm going through something, I've had 2 deaths in the family this year. Uh, it's not always just going to be about investing. There's a reason why you're investing, and your reason why you're investing is going to be different than everybody else's. Um, but it's great to have that kind of community. And if you're not in a close community, I urge you to find one. It doesn't have to be a rocket lab. It doesn't have to be a big stock. It's just finding friends that have, you know, a passion for investing and have a passion for life and don't always put themselves first. And that's another great thing about the community is these people do not always put themselves first. They're right there for you. I can name names, for a long time, but we are getting close. We've got hour and 15 now. We're counting down before Jacob and the guys go on and do their thing. This went by so fast. It's crazy. We can get on here and start talking, and whether we're talking about Rocket Lab or we're just talking about whatever, it goes by so fast. We have a lot of fun, and it's because of the continued support you guys are giving us. Again, 30 days, over 500,000 views. We've got a big goal coming up. I know you guys are going to help out. I know you guys are going to support it because I know you guys are sick of Chris being poor and broke. So, if for anything else, you ain't got to join nothing. You ain't got to donate any money or nothing like that. Just continue to do what you've already been doing. Get on here and bust my balls. Have fun with it. Just that's what it's all about. Some days we're going to have bad days. Some days we're going to have great days. But we want to always celebrate all the accomplishments we all make. So that's what today was, I guess, in a small way. Not a big thing. I mean, to us, it's massive. To all of YouTube, it's like, yeah, big whoop. You've done 30 shows and you've got 500,000 views. That's a drop in the bucket. Well, to me, it's massive. It really is. It means the world to me. So from the bottom of my heart, guys, to all of you out there, thank you. Thank you so much. It's made a huge difference in my life. I don't think you guys realize how much impact you can have on other people. So please continue to be the people that you are. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. I love all of you. Definitely looking forward to tonight. I cannot wait. I've been waiting for weeks for this. I can't wait for what's coming up in the coming weeks either. We do have a lot of stuff planned. The next 2 days, we're both going to be working very hard to make sure that the next few weeks coming up is going to be amazing. It'll be kind of hard to top what we just did, but I know we can do it. I know for a fact we can definitely top what we just did in the last 30 days.
I'm excited for my world record attempt, not gonna lie, but we'll keep that one quiet. Jake says, in reference to Chris's gift of children, but I like the Johnny angle. Do you know what? It can go many, many ways. Do you know what, guys? If you have just joined us, Jacob Spaces on in about an hour's time. You're gonna want to get yourself ready for that. Get your cup of tea, get your beer. He has Ashley Vance on. Look, you all know Jacob. He needs no introduction. He's going to be joined by Dave G as well. So, guys, make sure to check it out.
Oh,
Chris.
Jacob, you can adopt me, bro. If you want kids, you can adopt me. You've heard me talk. I act very childish. So if you want a kid, man, you can adopt me. I'm up for adoption. That'd be hilarious. No, and I've got 2 daughters. I love them to death, but man, it's not always easy. It really isn't. It's the best gift in the world, but sometimes it's just like, well, that's you know what the truth is, guys. I'm only 22. I just look like I'm 48 because I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, man, that's funny. Again, that's what we have you guys around, man. You're a lot of fun. You keep it light. You make me laugh. That's priceless. I'm looking forward. Again, we were gonna have Jacob on tomorrow. We are taking the 2 days off. But when we have him on, we've got to talk to him and see what his schedule's like. But when we do have him back on, that one's going to be an interesting one because Chris is actually going to be coming with numbers. It's going to be Chris's number show with Jacob. I've got some stuff that I really want to ask the guy and just bounce some ideas off of him. He's always quick to say, yeah, you're kind of crazy, but let me look at it and kind of get back at you. And that one's going to be fun. It's always fun with Jacob on, but I think this one's even going to be even more fun. Can't wait.
Chris, I think Matt Money hit the nail on the head when he said to us, and I'm sure he won't mind me airing this in the pre-stream. He said it's all about the people you meet and the relationships you build with people. He says that's the best part of this whole journey. And it has been. We have the people like Johnny. We have the people like Francisco. We have Jacob. We have Olga. Look, if I started naming out everyone. But yeah, it's about the relationships we build. And guys, like Chris has said, whether it's a RKLB community, whether it's our community, whether it's RKLB Weekly's community, it doesn't matter what community you join. It could be Coca-Cola's community. And if there's not a community, make a community. It is the best experience. But Chris, I want to let the guys off early. I want to get them ready for Jacob's big stream. Jacob, good luck, my guy. I know you're going to smash it. You always do. But my name's Liam. I am one of the Hustle Brothers here. I want to thank my good friend for getting this project over the line. 30 days. We're not stopping there. It's only the start of it. Chris, well done, my guy. Get the beer. Go sit down. Get yourself ready for Spaces. And we'll talk soon.
Oh, I cannot wait, man. Congrats. We did it 30 days. Congrats to both of us. Congrats to you. Thanks for pushing me. There were definitely days I think either both of us was like, I don't really think I can do it today, but somehow we did. It's not easy, but yeah, I am very much looking forward to tonight. I'm gonna run the store. I'm gonna get some burgers, throw them on the grill. I'm gonna be very quiet. I'm just gonna sit back and listen to you guys talk in the chats. I cannot wait for this. I've been so excited about this for days, weeks actually. And also just a big shout out to Jacob too for his help. Because thanks to him, we'll be having a guest on coming up, but we're not even going to talk about it right now. All eyes, all focus on tonight's live Spaces on X. Enjoy, everyone. Thanks again for all the continued support. We will see you again in 2 days. And yeah, man, have fun tonight. That's what it's all about.
And closing thought, Olga says, Jacob, you'll be great tonight. And I think the whole community here completely agree. All be listening, no pressure. I'm messing, my guy. We will all be listening. Big up. You've done well to do it. Now, we'll sit back, relax, and enjoy it. Right, guys, until next time.